You ever stop to think that the very ground a nation is built on might not be what it seems? That its entire history could just be a story? A cover for a secret so big it could change absolutely everything? Well, that's the rabbit hole we are diving into today. It's a huge question, right? And it's the absolute core of a mystery that doesn't start with spies or secret agents, but with something much, much more ordinary. So our story kicks off in Salt Lake City. We meet two lawyers, John and Michelle. Their firm is really struggling, and they get handed what seems like a lifeline, a simple commission to sell an old, beat-up train station. On the surface, it looks totally straightforward, but what they were about to uncover was anything but. The first red flag in this whole thing wasn't some big, dramatic warning. No, it was just a quiet, nagging feeling in their gut. The deal itself just felt off. It all started with the terms of the assignment, which, well, they just didn't make any sense. Okay, so let's break this down. A 10% commission capping out at $50,000 just for selling a rundown old station? That is way too high. And then there's the owner, United Railways, a company that was apparently founded way back in 1855, but seems to have just vanished. Right away, John's instincts are screaming. I mean, this wasn't just generous, it was flat out suspicious. Why on earth would their boss, Charles Kinston, a guy who is not exactly known for his generosity, offer a deal this good for a simple contract? That question just kind of hung there in the air. So they can't shake this feeling that something is really, really wrong. So they pivot. They go from being lawyers to being, well, historical detectives. And their first stop? The one guy who might know the secret history of the rails. They track down this guy, Stewart, a man who has lived and breathed railroads his entire life. His basement is this incredible, chaotic archive of books and model trains and forgotten old files. And it's here, amongst all the dust and memories, that this simple real estate case is about to blow up into a massive conspiracy. And this is the moment everything changes. Stewart doesn't talk about property lines or deeds. No, he starts talking about the French Revolution. He spins this tale of a king's son who survived, a hidden fortune, and a secret that traveled all the way across the ocean. It sounds completely insane, like a legend, way too fantastic to actually be real. But Stewart has a timeline to back it all up. The story kicks off in 1793. Just 2 years later, the secret contract gets signed. And here's the kicker, the really crucial part. That contract contains a 200-year lease, which is set to expire in their present day, 1993. The clock is literally ticking. Okay, so a legend is one thing, but proof? Proof is something else entirely. Fired up by this unbelievable story, the lawyers get on a plane to Washington, D.C. They're hunting for the one thing that could prove it all, the contract itself. And you won't believe it, but they find it, tucked away in the archives, in a folder that was supposed to have been destroyed way back in 1963. 30 years ago, some government employee either forgot to follow an order or maybe chose not to. And because of that one little thing, a piece of history that was meant to be completely erased managed to survive. And the terms of this contract, they are just staggering. It grants a French family, the DuPernes, a 200-year lease on all land within 20 miles of any railway line. That includes exclusive mining rights and development rights. And the final, jaw-dropping detail? The signature at the bottom belonged to George Washington himself. But here's the thing. When you uncover a secret this big, it comes with a price, a heavy one. As soon as they got their hands on the truth, well, the truth started to fight back. And this is where the story shifts from a historical mystery to a desperate fight for survival. The fallout is immediate. And it is brutal. They get attacked right there in the archives, knocked unconscious, and the contract is stolen. Back home, their informant, Stewart, is killed in an explosion. And when they land in St. Louis to keep digging, they're detained and put through a humiliating strip search. The message couldn't be clearer. Stop digging. The cover-up of Stewart's death is sloppy, but it works. The official story in the papers is that it was an accident, a leaking gas line. But John and Michelle know the one crucial detail that proves it was murder. Stewart's house didn't even have a gas connection. After that, the threats aren't even hidden anymore. These mysterious guys in suits show up and deliver the warning in person.
See, this isn't about some old historical document anymore. It's a life-or-death struggle against a powerful, shadowy group that will do absolutely anything to keep this secret buried.
So what do you do? What do you do when you're beaten, you're threatened, you're being hunted, and the forces against you seem all powerful? Well, if you're John and Michelle, you don't back down. You push forward. Yeah, despite being attacked in a library and having their friend murdered, they refuse to stop. In a way, they know they're on the right track precisely because the pushback is so violent. They've seen the proof with their own eyes, and there's no unseeing it now. So their goal becomes crystal clear. It all comes down to this. The contract is about to expire, and the key to everything, to blowing the lid off this thing and maybe even rewriting who owns a nation, lies with the living heirs of that DuPernes family. All the clues point to St. Louis. Now they just have to find them. And that just leaves us with this one final, lingering question. If a country's entire foundation is built on a 200-year-old lease that almost nobody knows exists, who is really in charge? The government that we see every day, or the people who hold the secrets?